is damage reduction. And you look at the top heroes that are both picked and with win rate, Ember Spirit, Void Spirit, Bristleback, Troll, Mars. All of these heroes have some method of reducing damage, either through the shield, Mars' case with the Bulwark, Troll with the Mischance, right? And these mechanics are super valuable because they're going to scale throughout the game because it's percent of the damage reduced, right? Whereas specifically Mars, I think, because you push, they pop Glyph or something, you just turn on Bulwark, and then you're avoiding all the damage, taking none. You're a natural aura item buyer, and you can choose any of them, plus you provide initiation. So Mars, to me, is just like the perfect offlaner right now. You could say like, oh, well, it's a better Brew game, right? But Mars can do everything a Brew can do, effectively. And it's just easier. And I'm surprised that this hero isn't first two'd still, especially when you consider how well it plays around a lot of these supports that are popular.
I actually like that point that you made right now, though. Right now, I feel like it's mostly...
I'm surprised about that.
Really?
He's even got a smile on his face.
No, the problem is I like this idea, and I think it's gonna work even better now when there are these changes to this patch, right? Because right now, even though that's a good point, like mostly it comes down to who's going to take the first tower, who's going to play the laning phase better, right? But I like the point that he made, because in the current state of things, if you even reduce that, then all of the things that he said are 100% true. So maybe not so right now, but definitely we can see that happening in these little tweaks that are coming up.
And it certainly sounds like, from what we've seen as well and what we've looked at across these games of Mars, he's just a complete character that a lot of people can go to. The go-to pick. Oh, okay. Spirit going to fire back with one of their own this time around. They don't want to be on the receiving end of it.
If Oracle's still in the pool, I wouldn't be surprised if that one gets picked up immediately here by NaVi. Shadow Demon instead. Either way, still an offensive purge. I like the SD a bit more, and they go for the classic combo with the Centaur. This is really nice. This is what I like to see. Not only is it snap picked, but this is so... I don't know how to put it. It's just simple. This is NaVi Dota right here. And yeah, you know what this combo does. You know how these heroes are played, but they're always going to do their job. It's the same concept as the Mars, right? Centaur, you might have poor matchups, but there's never a game Centaur can't do what Centaur wants to do. You always have Stampede. You always have a stun. You can kill towers, farm creep waves fast. It's just a nice hero to have.
And also, when he mentioned that even if the lane matchup isn't perfect, which Oracle would be good against the Centaur, but then do you really want to pick an Oracle into a Shadow Demon? If you pick an Oracle, you ulti someone, you try healing him, and then the Shadow Demon just uses the ulti on that target, and the heals are just, all of them are purged. And here we see the Witch Doctor. Yeah, definitely my favorite. And it works solidly against the Centaur because...
Are we still keeping track of this, by the way? Remember the first segment we guys did, and we were keeping track of how many times Witch Doctor was picked and how many times he won and lost?
I'm already going to go on a limb here and say NaVi win this game.
Straight off the bat.
I put
See
my
a Witch Doctor for Spirit, it's game over.
Always bet against Witch Doctor. That's my motto. And I understand Maledict and how it works, but Centaur's just going to buy a hood. They did change the item and now has a recipe cost associated, but... You just ignore this damage.
To me, like, if you're betting against the Witch Doctor, I can't go against my guy, though. He has been picked quite a lot. I think he has won only one game. So definitely not looking hot when it comes to win rate, but when it comes to win rate,
not ideal.
I feel like these position 5s play them in pubs, just as I did. They feel like it's doing good, and for some reason it's definitely not working in the competitive games.
Lich, same concept as the Treant. You just buff the target that gets maledicted. I think I would have preferred... you can't really pick Treant. I think I might have still preferred Treant. I'm just a little fearful whenever I see two ranged squishy intelligence supports. They both have built-in save mechanics, though, which is nice. And your lanes are going to be really strong.
And you have a Centaur for them to actually run away if there's trouble. So that's actually something that I like, the Centaur, that you can have these two range supports because you have the Stampede for them to get away from trouble. So to me, it's fine that they have these two heroes.
Is there a reason why you think that the Treant wasn't picked by NaVi then?
No, I think it was just something they had in mind for the Pango, because it works really well against the Pango Witch Doctor opening. Ember can hunt you a lot more effectively, and the Remnant will cut down the trees. It's just more frustrating to deal with. This is really intimidating. He's got skulls hanging from that stick. I never noticed that. Oh well. I'd like to see them get something to play with this Ember. I could see a Bounty Hunter come out, something that acquires vision on these backlines, because to win a fight, you're going to need to get on top of the Lich or the Shadow Demon. So either an Invis hero or just perhaps another Immersion Earth Spirit, although I don't think that that's best in the meta right now, even though he's awesome with the hero.
We also we're gonna go with the Phoenix. So hopefully this is a position 5 Witch Doctor and the Phoenix position 4. Phoenix is okay in the safe lane, but definitely much easier for him to maneuver around the off lane. He has much more room to work with, and they instantly go for the Morphling.
This is risky from Navi. Again, favorable matchups here for sure, but natural vessel buyer on the Ember. So it's that same scenario where if Navi fall behind, things could get rough, much like they were the ones on the punishing end against Spirit's Morph in the second game. However, you got a Centaur, and that's part of the reason I love this hero. You already have beef. You've already got something that can front line and just sort of go to a lane and stand there, maybe even die, but it'll take 3-4 heroes. It's fine. It's space.
Is Troll in the pool? Because I feel like you don't have much to help the egg survive. Troll whirling access is definitely going to be okay in the laning stage. He's going to work well against the Centaur, and later on with the Diffusal Blade plus I guess a Basher, he deals well with the Morph.
I think I might rather like a Furion or a Beastmaster, to be honest.
They go for the DK.
Hey.
Okay, all right. So this is a bit scary once the SD gets Ags, because it then starts to apply the break mechanic. However, really nice to just have a point-and-click stun against Morph and SD, and a Phoenix behind it. This is one of my favorite combinations. We used this way back at a TI. This actually looks like a draft out of TI5, thinking about it. I think this exact combo of heroes is probably picked up, where you just play for this early tempo. And I like Spirit's lineup so far. This is quite nice.
And it's also like Dragon Knight can go offlane and the mid as well. So I feel like if they can pick something like that for their last pick, they can actually flex it, since Navi do have the last pick. So I feel like you want to keep that open, because if Navi has it open with the Morphling, and then they can just destroy you if you have set lanes. So I'd like Team Spirit to actually get something flexible that can also go in the offlane, but into the mid as well.
What are you expecting? What picks are we expecting last, or both of them? What's going to give them the well-rounded winning game choice?
I wouldn't mind a Silencer once again. Maybe something that gives you some more tower pressure. Axe banned out from Navi, so they expect it to be an offlaner from Spirit. I think I agree with that choice. I'm just curious as to what they'll put against the Morph. But this is the beauty of the Navi lineup, why you take the Morph 4th pick here, because now you can flex it to mid or carry, so you're almost always going to guarantee that you have a decent lane for the hero.
Gives you a bit more freedom, right, coming into the last pick.
And that, to me, you need that if you're going to properly utilize last pick. If it has to be one role, then you're...
It's obvious, you've been caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, like the last pick lost in value when Huskar fell out of the meta, Brood fell out of the meta. They were really strong, and then when you had last pick and you could pull out the Meepo, a Brood, Huskar, any of those heroes, and they felt really strong in the meta, it was insane to have last pick. Right now, like I said, you really need to keep the 4th pick flexible if you want to have any advantage by having the last pick. If not, then to me, like, 1st pick is definitely the one that I would choose if I was drafting.
Well, let's see which one we're going to end up with on this side. So for now, you're saying you really liked what you've seen from Spirit there, Kyle.
Yeah, both teams have like solid foundations. This last pick will mean a lot for both teams, because it pretty much dictates whether, if you imagine aggression on a scale of like 1 to 10, they're both hovering around like 5 or 6, but they could turn it up or slow it down based on what they want to go with here. DK is a really cool hero right now because your talents are great, and again, it'll be interesting because I know like the max level, like doubling Dragon Blood, right? Is it 1.8 times Dragon Blood now? I'm not actually sure. So, let me actually see if anybody messaged me. I want to see what 20% of static abilities are. You're up here.
No, okay. I'm just very sad. We already had an NA math moment with Kyle, and now again we had it because it's 20% from.
He's got something though.
Yep, it's all the things that just change stuff are unchanged.
Wow.
So only the numbers are 20% reduced. So this will be interesting. It's not a huge deal, but you got to think
it's like tip the scales a bit.
Yeah, and how do you rebalance talent. Like Puck, as an example, you're choosing between 15% spell amp or phase shift attack. Now it's just 12% spell amp. So in theory, it was balanced with the actual number, and I understand you're nerfing them across the board, but I think that over time, we're going to see
micro adjustments.
He'll have to tweak a lot of these talents. Because like phase shift auto attack used to be level 10, now it's 15. Might even need to be 20, honestly, because of how strong it is. And as I was talking, we have the last picks. They do go for the Furion. I'm really glad to see that. I like the idea to just push the tempo up. They pick a Necro. Again, this just makes Spirit Vessel super value.
Okay.
And if I'm Navi, I need a Lotus Orb on somebody like ASAP.
The problem for Navi is that they don't have a Vessel buyer against the DK plus the Sunray. I feel like that combo is just insane. If like you just never let the DK fall super low. I guess you do have the burst damage, the Soul Catcher plus the Reaper Scythe to bring down the DK, but if he's constantly getting healed by this Sunray, I feel like that problem that you don't have a Vessel buyer on Navi side could actually come to bite him this game, because I don't know how you kill the DK once he gets like an item. Those two bracers in the beginning plus power treads, how does he even die?
All right, really quick from both of you, what we've seen here, because we want to get into this game, the first game on the new patch. Which way are we going for the final game? Who's taking it?
I'm gonna go Spirit, just for the reason there's no Spirit Vessel buyer, and I feel like if you stun the Morphling, there's no one that can kill the egg, and that's like
cool.
The main
Really quick,
Spirit wins before 25 minutes. Navi wins after 25 minutes, but I'm going to lean Navi because Spirit of a Witch Doctor, and that hero is worthless.
I like how much this has changed. There's still a chance for Spirit in there. Now, Lyrical and Tsunami are there. Are you ready to be the first casters here for the new patch? And I'm going to weigh in on my prediction for this, because you know me, I'm a Dragon Knight, or I'm going Axe. So that means I'm going with Spirit.
All right, I'm digging it. I'm super excited. I'm ready to go, man. There are going to be some funny things that we can talk about here. Holy crap. Also, Kyle is already wrong. Dragon Blood is 1.8 times at level 25. So double, so it can still be taken off.
Kyle's not happy.
Sorry, my
That's
man.
raw numbers, though. All the non-number ones weren't changed.
Yes,
whatever. You know what?
That
I give up.
Technically, I would like to add a slight qualification to that. So anything that is kind of charge-based has remained the same, and anything that is like PA still has triple daggers, Ember Spirit still has 2 Sleight of Fist charges, Morphling still has 3 multi-shot adaptive strikes. So those numbers have remained consistent. But anything that is like a percentage increase or like a strength, armor, all that stuff, pretty much 20% across the board. The only interesting exceptions I could find, which I was not paying attention to any of the draft, Lone Druid's 0-second Entangle cooldown is still 0 seconds. So that has not been changed. And Techie's 251 damage is still 251 damage. That has not gotten nerfed.
Dude, my boy, he did it. He made it through the great 20% purge. I saw something that made me laugh hysterically. If we could just real quickly look at Nature's Prophet, his level 25 talent is 1 times Treant HP and damage.
You know?
Because
strong stuff.
That's what you need.
I'm like, what do I need the exact same thing, but I need to spend a skill point. I'll just go for that one. That's a good one.
I was laughing. And then you compare like his level 15 talent now too, plus 3 Treant summoned versus 8 armor. Like, how is that even a choice? You get 3 extra Treants. It's terrible. So we're gonna see how
Is it as good as 3 Treants?
Yeah, I don't think so. There's no way. Dude, yeah, this is gonna be an interesting game. I'm really curious to see how the bigger, like, dynamic changes go with like denies no longer granting gold, things like that. How that all plays out. I mean, I don't know if we want to go too much into initial impressions, but is there anything that's really you're curious to watch for?
I'm curious to see if this will be on favoring supports. Carries to get from denies, or if it ends up going against supports because there's less reliable gold for them to be able to get, because you're only getting reliable gold from passive gold, no longer participating from assists or anything like that. So I would pass.
Oh God, are you still there with me right now?
Why? Was I lagging out? Did I?
You're sounding a little bit robot-y. I'm not sure if that's on my side or if it's on your side. Do I sound clear to you?
Let me come. You sound clear to me, but
Okay, we're gonna get Neil back in just a second. He's gonna do a quick little drop out and then a jump back into there. But we'll keep our eyes on it. Shadow Demon down bottom, gonna get denied by the neutral creep actually. So Misha not able to find and kill that pesky Shadow Demon, Mr. Slayer himself. And we'll see how this works out. But Pasha playing down on the bottom lane for the moment. Neil should be hopping back in. I'm wondering if he's having the same issue with Discord that I did a little bit earlier. Still waiting for him to come back in. But the things to watch for here, up top lane. Are you back, buddy?
I'm back. What's up?
Yeah, you sound crisp and beautiful and lovely.
Sweet.
Nice to hear you.
I'll give you the quick TLDR of what I says. I'm curious to see how it'll pan out for supports because you're going to get less reliable gold because you're only getting it from passive gold. But on the flip side, the enemy carries are also getting less gold because they're not being able to get gold out of denies. So, so what does it all mean? Who knows?
Take a little from here, gain a little bit there. It all ends up working out. I do like to see this matchup mid, though. We didn't really talk about it, but the Necrophos versus Nature's Prophet, actually kind of cool for Magical, because with his denies that he's going to get on the transfer, last hits that he gets on him, just more regen for him. So that's a nice little bonus.
Yeah, and these are units that do not have any magical resistance, so he's just able to consistently be able to get that regen off of it. I'm curious why Spirit just keep favoring this this Nature's Prophet in the mid lane. I feel like it's kind of a contingency kind of thing. I don't really feel like it's ever their plan A, but it definitely did not work out for them too well in game 1 versus that Templar Assassin. Hopefully it works out a little bit better against the Necro.
Yeah, that's the hope. Absolutely. Whether or not that's going to play out is something to be determined. Aragon, at the very least, is going to be able to sort of abuse the regen factor from the fountains. So that's something that we've already seen him do. He runs back home, or the TP's back home, and then is able to teleport back out again. His TP scroll is going to be off cooldown in another 9 seconds. So was probably going to look to do that again. Although, look at Magical just playing so aggressively on him right here. Dude, is Aragon dead? He's taking some damage from that one. Holy
Very
Toledo.
close, yeah, and so now he has to use a scroll, but he can come back now. It's just that his lane's consistently getting pushed, and Magical has had to spend like nothing on regen. Double null talismans. He's getting all the regen in the world from these last hits. And Ergon, I mean, you can't not use Trance. That's your biggest factor as Nature's Prophet mid to bully the enemy, but it's just not working out in his favor at all.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Absolutely. Witch Doctor, Cask not going to bounce onto that Centaur, so Pasha able to get the walk away, no problemo. Slayer, in the meantime, is going to go for a quick little pull here as well. So the only thing that we've seen so far was that one deny of the Witch Doctor over there on the Ancients. Is up top Crystallize, trying to get a little bit aggressive onto Afterlife, but can't really make anything happen there.
Oh, that's true. Tower protection auras now. You get HP regen for standing next to your towers.
Goodness. Out to Anko.
So think about how much HP that Ergon has been getting because he's literally been under his tier 1 tower the entire time. Maybe he survived.
Yeah, but it kind of does it. I mean, he's got Reaper's Scythe. Aragon might be dead. Oh, not going to go for it. Magical could have popped the mango there and gone for the Reaper's Scythe, but would have not worked because I guess the infused raindrop is the big thing. As down bottom, they find the kill on to Duraccio. So the Ember Spirit already dead. And
now mid lane.
Magical. In a little bit of trouble. They're rotating over with Immersion too. This guy went a little bit too big for his britches and he gets punished.
Yeah, it costs a 3-hero rotation, and the Witch Doctor leaving is part of the reason why the Ember Spirit dies, so somewhat even trade, especially since the Phoenix also went to the mid lane, so buys a little bit of time for Crystallizes his Morphling to not have to worry about a support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that part is nice about it as well. We did see their Immersion try and move over and battle it out against Ilias, but a little bit tough to make that move. Illusion Rune picked up here. Rotating over is Ilias. They find him. He's in some trouble.
Popped.
And dead. And that's a long time before he's back alive again.
Only for now, though. Wait another patch, and it's going to be 20% against all skills as well. Talents were just the first thing on the chopping block.
Right. It's I mean, to me, I'm kind of curious, like, you know, as far as another deny of there on Duraccio,
Sick.
It gives him the tip afterwards. I like it. I want to see if these games do end up being elongated longer than they would otherwise. You know, like it sounds like it should be the case. The tier 2 towers getting that extra HP, getting extra damage that they're dealing. But I'm wondering if it's really going to matter, or if like controlling the map is going to still be that much more strong as Aragon comes back in. But now he's facing a level 8 magical. Duraccio rotating over, only level 4 on this Ember Spirit, but it still might be enough. Ghost Shroud, Maledict's onto him. The jump in, Stampede away, and he's taking a lot of damage, though. I think that he's dead afterwards. Maybe not. Is he living?
I think he's good.
Oh, God. 60 HP.
Strength treads and regen. Magical manages to slip out, and he costs another 3-hero rotation. Freaking the Ember Spirit and the Witch Doctor both go there. And like you said, it was just a level 4 Ember Spirit, now just barely level 5. Duraccio is having a miserable time in this bot lane.
And every time that Magical just like walks forward towards his tree, it's just got to run away. Because, yeah, he gets all the regen that he needs. This, I don't know. This does not feel like the matchup. This seems like a great matchup for Magical, who's now going to...
I mean, to be fair, Necro is consistently proving to have the upper hand in most of these mid lane matchups that I'm seeing. The heroes that are good against Necro are just not very popular right now. Like, I'm not really seeing like Razor be played mid or anything like that. And it requires a lot of focus. I'm just surprised that Spirit are kind of dedicating that focus, because you've got to worry about a Morphling in the top lane who's going toe-to-toe with a DK, and this was like a aggressive dual lane type situation, but really it was just there to secure the Morphling's farm.
Bottom lane.
Yeah, Centaur.
Is he going to get another kill here? Oh, stick charges to walk away. A 5th stack, though, and the double edge comes through. You had a free path, my man. I think he got pathed. I think he got pathed. Yeah, he got pathed. That's rough. Well, we got another wrap on Magical, but again, I don't know how the hell you kill this guy. He's got raindrops now, too. Frost Shield, still the Ray of Death, the beam, trying to bring him down, but he's going to live.
Dude, they're dedicating so much attention to this Necro. And, like, it's Necro's not the biggest deal this game. Now, sure, Necro's going to be very valuable, but... like, the Morphling is continuing to go completely unimpeded, and it's a hero that should be relatively easy to gank. He's in the off lane. Slayer has only now shown up to help him out after Lich TPs to help out the mid lane, so, I don't know, Necro's just not an easy hero to kill at all.
Totally. Well, and, you know, I think that you need to make sure, obviously, that your Nature's Prophet has a good game, but he's going to try and catch up now a little bit. Did summon some Treants, which are just chilling for a second, but they get to work afterwards. And we're going to see that first round of items come out now. The other thing that was changed was the timings on when those items do come up.
It's so
still 7 minutes.
17 minutes now. So it's 7, and then it's 10 minutes after every interval after that. So 7, 17, 27, 37.
Okay. And then and then 37, not 40, right?
Yeah.
Magical underneath the tower looks to try and take this one out, and will be able to finish off at least round 1, it looks like. Most likely. Yeah, it goes down. Oh, Misha pulled back in, right-clicked. Witch Doctor dead.
Yeah, and Nature's Prophet not really contesting anything in terms of outposts or runes. He's just so far behind that he just has to focus on his own jungle farm. Root lands on Magical.
Going on Magical again. Does not look like it's going to work that well. Lich takes the regen rune. Duraccio uses another one of his remnants. Hold back in. Oh, chase down. Not going to be enough. And the Stampede was used a little bit late there. I think that was just to make sure that Pasha didn't get fully chained down by Afterlife in the bottom lane. Where they're going to try and mount another pressure.
Stampede is down, although Necro, he's kind of low mana, and I don't know if he'll be willing to defend this bot. Yeah, with Treants and DK form activated, they're just going to let this bot tier 1 go.
So Team Spirit feel like the team that needs to be aggressive here, making moves around the map. But likewise, NaVi are already off to a hot start in terms of kills. Their Necrophos is enormous, as Immersion here is trying to soak up whatever XP that he can. This is actually a pretty nice win here for the Phoenix.
Yeah, now Misha joining it as well, but I mean, they can't really scare the Necrophobes, they can just soak some of it. So you sounded like you were gearing up for a question.
Yeah.
Was there going to be a question after that?
There was. I just got distracted by getting XP. So I guess the big thing that I'm sort of wondering in this game is like, are Team Spirit sort of on a clock right now? Do you think that with the changes to the tier 2 towers, they're going to be able to like close out the game early on? Do they have to?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, this strategy is a little bit weaker now with a fast push with the DK playing around the Dragon form and playing around the Treants, because technically if you're getting HP regen from your towers, it's a little bit more difficult to push. If you're only being able to find reliable gold from creeps and stuff like that, then I don't know, it's much more difficult to be able to start snowballing out of control much earlier on. So I definitely favor a team that goes late in this sort of situation. Again, don't really know what the implications of the patch are quite yet.
Yeah.
But just based off the laning phase itself, it seems like Spirit have their work cut out for them if they want to execute this push strategy that they've drafted.
I guess the bonus is that, like you're saying, as Aragon is going to just get chain frosted, ran at, does have a Sprout living for the moment, but only a moment, as they will eventually fear him and then kill him off. More treants to farm. But the thing that's going to be kind of interesting is if somehow Team Spirit are able to sort of gain some map control, then holding the map is going to be more valuable than it used to be, because melee creeps give you more gold, because neutrals give you more gold. Like, that part at least comes back a little bit.
Yeah, and I'd say that's probably going to be more dependent on your vision game,
right,
as opposed to any other like objectives or anything like that, because again, like, what I feel like it's going to be so difficult for supports to be able to get gold. Counter warding is going to be that much more valuable at establishing a vision game. And the whole concept of the patch is to slow things down and to reduce the power creep that everyone has been complaining about for a long time. It's not a very elegant way of doing it, I'm sure, and I'm sure this is all gearing up for like a more dramatic patch to come up soon. Right. All this stuff has just been piecemeal to slowly revert things, kind of like the way the side shop was slowly eliminated. Like, it was a long time plan to get rid of the side shop, but you needed to ease the players into it. Same thing here. Players are being eased into slower games and reducing the power creep.
A boiled frog, if you will. Is basically what we've got here.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about there?
I don't. Please explain.
Oh, it's the whole idea that if you throw a frog into boiling hot water, he jumps out because it's like, it's hot. And then if you slowly increase the temperature of the water with the frog in it, then the frog's just gonna die.
I see. Why is frog the animal of choice as opposed to like lobsters?
I don't know. It might have been some like
Is it like an idiom?
I have no idea. I have no clue. The other thing that actually I was re-looking at the patch log again, and the net worth AoE gold change. So I just plugged in some numbers real quickly to a calculator. Let's say it's like 10,000 net worth. The difference in gold that you get from a kill like that in the AoE is about 60, roughly. So 375 to 315 is a nice hoof stomp dodge there. By the Ember Spirit, but that's something else to consider, is that there's more gold that you're getting just by that AoE gold formula, which can be super duper finicky. I think that we've seen a lot of different iterations of it, and it kind of can change drastically what a comeback potential is. So that's another thing that I want to watch for in this game. Yeah,
but at the same time, it's now unreliable gold, so you can give it back that much more easily, or not really give it back, but you can lose it. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, the other team could lose it too if you die. All of a sudden, this gold that you thought you had doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, which a lot of people were curious to see how buybacks might get affected by that, because you stand to lose a lot more gold as a carry now than ever before. Because it used to be like, if you're a Morphling, you're getting shotgun kills all over the place, then chances are you'll probably have plenty of buyback gold. But now, if you're only getting it from creeps, if you're only getting reliable gold from passive income, then you may get yourself in some late game troubles.
Absolutely. Can't afford to not have buyback.
I'll take that.
Which I guess means that that like little formula that you have of holding your mouse over the gold thing.
I am hoping that Valve changed it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it's actually accurate. But there have definitely been errors made And I'm sure that by the time that this game ends, there's going to be like another sneak patch to also fix some things. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with being beta testing in a production environment.
All right. Oh, I just realized after I did the frog analogy that everybody's giving me the ice frog emote. My bad. Sorry, guys. It's not me that came up with it. It's somebody else. The pull in, they kill off immersion. So the Phoenix will be taken down.
Costs a stampede. We'll see if Team Spirit are able to do anything with this, as they're kind of grouping up bot. Afterlife has not activated his Dragon Form in quite a while. It's close to level 12, but unfortunately they're just going to pop it now and start hammering on this tier 2 bot.
Okay. Pressure, pressure. Wherever they can.
Whoa,
It
what is
doesn't feel
happening to Ergon? Was he activating his taunt or something?
He might have been. I didn't see anything weird on him, but
Oh my
he is
God,
about to
looked
be
like
gone.
Yeah,
Ooh,
maybe that's what it
Sprout?
was.
Sprout? The Sprout? Run away? Oh, they got him. That was actually pretty sick from Crystallize. You see that? Switching
Yeah.
over into him? I like that.
Getting
Now
some
teleport
vision.
somewhere.
He could. Actually, that would be pretty good if he did, but it's going to time out. Inefficiency.
Unfortunate. Well, they take the bottom tier 2 tower, so they're not keeping NaVi off the map, but you can see there is like some gold changing back and forth a little bit here and there. It feels like Team Spirit were able to make up a little bit of lost ground there.
Yeah, and Crystallize finds a DD rune, so he's going to be able to walk right into the pit. So even though they're not contesting the structures, they are taking plenty of objectives of their own. And it doesn't look like Spirit are in a position to contest this. They don't even know that it's going on, which granted, like 17 minutes with a Morphling, you don't really expect this to happen, but that DD rune makes a world of difference. And now Crystallize, very, very difficult to deal with at this point. I imagine NaVi, like, the next, or Stampede's available now, so NaVi are just going to start dominating the map.
Yeah, that's going to be the way that they play this one out. And in the meantime, Team Spirit just going to need to find what they can, probably over on this side of the map there. They've already taken the tier 2 tower, which is a nice part. So NaVi can't just like bull rush top because they're going to need to send somebody back to deal with bottom, I'm assuming. But if Team Spirit can take this tier 1 tower here, I think they're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, looks like they'll do so uncontested. I'm really surprised that despite having such an immense lead, Magical's just kind of been chilling. He's getting plenty of farm, he's remaining top of the net worth, but for the amount of effort that Spirit had put into killing him, I was surprised that Magical wasn't just kind of doubling down on that and showing himself in lanes more frequently, trying to draw more focus. But if his Morphling's not taking abuse, then who really cares? The whole incentive is just to make sure your game winner can farm unimpeded.
You see that? Like, I feel like you are never going to hit a hoof stomp on an Ember player. Like, it's just such a bad stun. No disrespect to Pasha at all. It's not his fault. It's just Centaur.
I mean, this is what it used to be for Slardar before he got his guaranteed right-click bash.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Retaliate needs. Retaliate just needs, you know, get all 13 charges, and then you get first click bash.
I like that idea. Although it actually sounds terrible. But since everybody purges it nowadays, it's kind of a little bit better. Immersion gets completely mollywalloped. And Misha, Eul Scepter lift up, chased down, killed off. Both supports gonzo. And Team Spirit going to need to try and go for some counterplay here down bottom with Aragon. But as Nature's Prophet just doesn't feel like a hero. Not many of their heroes feel like heroes right now.
No, and I don't think they're going to be able to draw this focus off the high ground as, Pasha, will he get the hoof stomp this time? No. Not even going to bother for it. But, I mean, they're sieging high ground. They've got a Dragon Skill on Magical's Necrophos, and now Crystallize is going to give up the Flame Guard to the Morphling, or Draccio is going to give up the Flame Guard to the Morphling, and they're... God, Phoenix really does not want to have to buy back. But losing this tier 3 at 19 minutes hurts so bad.
Yep. Same time, Aragon was trying to get some pressure on. He is going to be able to keep that going down bottom with his trance working, but rooted for the moment. Magical, not afraid of anything. They lose that tier 3 tower. Bottom is not going to be taken, but at least some damage dealt. So that's going to be something they'll keep their eyes on.
Yeah, and the fact that no one's showing up bot kind of prevents Team Spirit from trying to get any return kills from anyone exiting the fight, but it could have been a fake back smoke from NaVi, so they just sit in their base, but now they're starting to see some heroes show up, and still this Nature's Prophet is just not able to scare anyone off. He's just kind of being a nuisance. He's pushing now, and Pasha's gonna kind of respect it actually, unless they're playing on smoking. I'm surprised they're actually not contesting this tier 1.
I guess that they read the smoke that was coming from Team Spirit, because they're baiting the Nature's Prophet as the rest of them showed up. So yeah, I thought that they were going to go for it too, but showing a little bit of restraint, not wanting to give a chance for the game to turn around. I mean, it's only been 10 kills in this game, but 9 of them have gone to NaVi, and it feels like it. It really has not felt like Team Spirit have had any type of a way into this. But this is the thing. In the last patch, this has often been the point where the game is just lost because there's no comeback potential. I think this is one of the things we want to watch and wait and see is, like, is there some more of a comeback potential in this new patch that we're seeing? Maybe with a different team. I don't know, because this team doesn't look like it's very comeback oriented. I don't know.
The theory is sound, but the execution leaves a lot to be desired. Smoke up as they're grouping up for another tier 3 push.
Dude, Magical has just smooth been holding on to this tango forever.
Yeah, you never know. That Sprout, you don't want to get Sprout TC'd as they actually get the hoof stomp onto, poor Nature's Prophet. 75 seconds dead. Phoenix has to cancel the TP, so gonna have to take the long way back as he actually runs into Crystallize in the mid lane.
Runaway. That's a scary, scary Morphling. Yeah, he's not sprouting anybody. Oh, stun comes out. The beam of death, but there's the disruption, the turnaround. Good jump away from that hoof stomp coming out from the Centaur. Coconuts will not bounce. Aragon comes back in, and the tango. Super value. Yeah, and that's about it. 10-1. Jeez. It ain't pretty.
No.
Do you think he buys another tango?
Does anyone have an Iron Talon on his team? No, and it's actually not worth swapping out the neutral item. It would take too long to backpack it and unbackpack it. No, probably not at this point. I think at this point he's just tanky enough that he'll deal with the circumstances whenever they happen. Although Prophet is threatening to TP on top of Magical, but he would be a fool to carry through with that.
Magical's gone a much more just defensive-oriented build. Now getting a Lotus Orb on top of the Yule Scepter and the mech. So just everything to take off all of the DOTs that are coming out, the roots that are there.
Yeah, which is actually a little bit surprising that he ends up completing the treads as opposed to going for a Greaves or something. But yeah, he's still so difficult to kill. And same thing for the Morphling as well. This is just a team that Spirit don't have the burst damage capable of pulling it off. Like, all of their damage is kind of gradual as they get the clumsy net.
Dyrachyo, barely, but the chain frost. Oh my god, run away! He doesn't have mana. Get out of there, Dyrachyo, run!
Pasha has
TP,
Blink in
trying
1 second.
Back out. Oh, he realized the Spirit Vessel was on him, but not able to find it. Damn, that was scary. Dyrachyo, though, he tanked the spells and he lived. Okay.
He did, but the rest of his team is not in a position to defend the mid lane. They're waiting for a bot lane push, but NaVi are just like, oh, cool.
He went back to his Remnant. Oh, Dyrachyo. No, that's unfortunate. Oh, God, he has to buy back now, but he doesn't have a Remnant down, so he can't get into this fight quickly enough. And now on the other side, Afterlife trying to control this team fight is all split up, and Team Spirit are being pulled apart. Throw the ulti onto that Dragon Knight. Turn on the Super over the Sprout. The Sprout, what a freaking god Sprout. It's not enough. It's not quite enough. The hoof stomp onto Dyrachyo. If he dies back now, oh, my man is going down. Reaper's Scythe, he's out of there for 97 seconds. Crystallized with the double kill, continued control, continued death, and Team Spirit, there is nowhere left. As Afterlife does do a little jukey juke around the corner, but it's hurting. It is hurting.
Can we get like a 50% talent nerf across the board, maybe? Because seems still pretty snowbally to me. No, this game was pretty far gone. From the fact that they were not able to, I mean, again, like, it doesn't matter how many numbers you tweak, how many knobs you turn. If you lose all 3 lanes, close games. If you lose all 3 lanes, there's really no way back into it. And